What was your first initial feeling when Becca told you about James?
I knew that, like, there was something between them, so I kind of knew that something would sprout into a new relationship. So I wasn't that surprised when I found out about it. It was just, like, I never really took into account how there could be such a big age difference between two people that love each other. And I guess I was very inspired by it. And I was happy that she was happy. So I was okay with it.
My first reaction, a little shocked, I guess. Annoyed, angry. But because of the extenuating circumstances that brought them together.
I was shocked. I really didn't know what to think at first because I didn't really have a full grasp on what the situation was. So I just decided to do my best, and I was gonna see what James was like when I first met him.
How did you feel when she told you about Laureen?
To be honest, I was kind of confused. I was like, so how does that work? But I thought it was cool. It's like, there's a lot of people on the earth. It's cool. There are a lot of people on the earth. I don't really expect there to be just one person that you love for the rest of your life all together. So I think it's cool that it's possible to love two people at a time. And as long as all that love is shared, then it's okay.
I think I was numb at that point. I didn't know what to think. I had friends asking me how I felt about that once they found out, and I looked right at them and I'm like, how exactly am I supposed to feel about that?
Laureen was a kind of more surprising because she came in after I met James and I already had a grasp on the kind of person he was. But Maureen was still cool because she was that energy that like could be the life of the party or just like totally put you in your place, and that was really cool.
How did you feel when she first started telling you about the three-way relationship?
I didn't really care as long as she was happy.
I wasn't really bothered by it because I'm not involved. Why should I care what you guys are doing? It's not my life to live. If you want to be a clown working for like auto fair tires, go ahead. That's what you want to do.
How did you feel about the age difference?
Again, I was angry, but not at them, really, because of the circumstances that brought them together.
I still didn't care if she was happy. I was happy.
The age difference, I have to admit, it kind of worried me, but after I met James and Maureen and got to know him a little bit, it became like a little bit less of a concern.
Are you supportive of her?
Very.
I've always been supportive of her. I might not agree with everything she does, and she knows that. But she's an adult, and it's her life. And I'm her mother, and I'm always going to love her. Nothing will change that.
How do you feel now?
I have got so much else going on. I don't dwell on it because it just brings back everything that happened, and I just oftentimes don't have the energy to put into it, and I just have other people that I need to consider.
I think she chose wisely. And I think that after everything that has happened and is happening, that bad things need to happen for the best to come, in my opinion. So I think everything is good.
It's kind of not changed much. I mean, James is a really nice guy. Maureen's a really nice woman. You guys had a very tight bond back then, you still do now. So, yeah, nothing really changed much about how I feel about James and Maureen now than I did back when I first met them.
Is there any final comment you would like to add?
When she was born, this was not what I dreamed about for her, but she's not living my dream, she's living mine.
James is a cool dude. All right, well, thank you.
Would you please explain how the three of you met?
Well, I met James first. I met him at a mutual friend's wedding back in 2012, and it was only a brief brush by. We didn't really get introduced or anything. But I saw him again about a couple years later when the same mutual friend had their first annual 4th of July party. And we started talking about tattoos because he was a tattoo artist, and I told him about how I wanted to get a Harry Potter sleeve done, and you know, he was really into that. And about a year later, I messaged him again and asked him if he could cover up a tattoo for me that I regrettably got done. And he told me that he could fix it, and I sent him what I wanted. And so I get to the shop, my mom and I get to the shop, and his friend Travis was there, so he hung out with us, and we started talking and, you know, having a good time. And after he finished my tattoo, he asked my mom and I if we could message him to let him know that we were home safe that night. And when I got home, he messaged me asking me if I had gotten home, because I had been home for a while, and he kind of just flew from my mind. And so he messaged me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you know, I hope you can forgive me. Yeah, we're home safe and everything's good. And so him and I just started talking basically, and it just bloomed from there, I guess. And then with Lorene, I actually met her through him. He asked her to come to the shop one day, and I was so nervous about meeting her that I wasn't really in a sober-ish state at that moment. And when she first walked in through the door, I just immediately knew that I needed to be with her. There was just a sort of aura that came off of her that I found really cool, and I wanted to, get to know her and to be with her, and we've been together ever since.
And what is it like being with two people?
Challenging. To say the least, it is a bit challenging, but it's also fun because we all get to, laugh and joke, and, we like the same things, so it's cool. Plus, if you're mad at one, there's always the other that you can talk to.
What is it like being with two people that are older than you?
Honestly, being with them and the fact that we have such a big age difference between us, I was nervous at first, but I knew that this was meant for me because for a long time I didn't feel like I was being myself completely. Growing up and, you know, being raised in a Catholic family and, you know, out all throughout high school, I didn't really feel like myself. And, you know, after I hit college and I just started, you know, experiencing, you know, what college life is like and the things that we try and all that, I finally decided that, you know, maybe it's time to really open myself up and let people know that, hey, like, this is also a part of me. I'm still me, but this is just a part of me that I've been scared to show, but I needed to show, and I was finally able to do that. So it's been an interesting ride.
How did you feel when you finally started telling your friends and family?
Well, like I said, I was very nervous because I wasn't sure how they would react to it, and I was, you know, worried about being, you know, freaking outcast from the family or, you know, thrown out because, you know, this isn't the normal way to like live, but there was just a part of me on the inside that I just knew that I had to live my life the way that I wanted, and this is how I wanted to live it. So I was nervous, but when I was getting all the support that I wasn't expecting, I kind of felt like better. Honestly, I was surprised that, you know, my family was a lot more supportive than I thought they would be, and, you know, that really helped, you know, build my confidence and of who I was and who I am, and I can now sit here and say that I'm proud to be who I am. I finally feel like myself.
So how does it all work?
I get asked that question every single time we run into somebody. Every time some stranger or like friends come up to us and they're like, so how does that work? And it's, you just kind of look at them and you're like, well, it's kind of like a normal relationship, but with an extra person in the mix. I mean, yes, it's more complicated, but one, it's also more fun because we go on hikes, we, you know, freaking go camping, we go fishing, and like this is stuff that I didn't really like do, and I've just really enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. And honestly, it's kind of hard to explain how it works, but it works in its own unique, special, crazy way.
And how do you feel now? Like, what are your final comments?
I'm completely happy with who I am, and I'm completely happy to be with them. James and Laurie mean everything to me. I would do anything for them, and they would do anything for me, and we've all grown closer to each other recently because of, you know, complications and unforeseen events, but we've grown so much closer to each other, and we have so much love for one another now, and it's just amazing. I love them, and I want to be with them for the rest of my life.